Welcome to Of Men, For Men. Here we'll discuss issues pertaining to the modern day man. Subjects like health, wealth, lifestyle, gear, and relationships. So join me as we dive into the world of men for men. Well, hello and welcome to the Of Men For Men podcast. I am your host, James Rodney Lemax. All right, yeah. Come on in, kick back, relax. Grab yourself a cool one. Oh, I trust everybody's doing all right. We in the middle of the week now, approaching the weekend. Right? We gonna make it, right? Oh, Lord. If they don't blow the place up first. Good God. Man, this world is messed up. I wanted to talk about masculinity. Actually, being an alpha male. The alpha. It was actually one of my most popular episodes. I thought I would revisit it, touch on it once again, and talk about some updates. I don't know if anybody knows, but currently, Playboy, we all know what Playboy is, right? At least us older gentlemen do. I don't even think they have the magazine anymore. I think it's all web-based. It's electronic now. And that's fine. No need wasting the paper. But it was kind of a coming of age, kind of a magazine. You'd find your dad's old Playboys tucked away somewhere, or your brother's stuff tucked away, hidden somewhere, and you'd run up across it somehow. Whoa, man, just opened up a whole new world for you, you'd discovered the pot of gold. Oh man. But on the current episode, they're gonna have a man on the cover. A man. Yeah. Isn't this a guy's magazine? It's supposed to have chicks in it. Articles, satire, stories, cartoons, interviews. I mean, there always was some, really good written articles in the magazine, believe it or not. It wasn't just photos. I mean, really the Playmates were, really just a bonus. It was a men's magazine, and, the girls, their layouts or whatever, were really just a bonus, But it was, a well-written magazine. It was well run while old Hef was still around. But yeah, for the third time, of course, they had Hugh Hefner on there once. And they had the Playboy Bunny on there once. And now they're going to have some little Thai, slight-looking, feminine-looking dude prancing around in a Playboy Bunny outfit. I'm like, are they, who is this for? This ain't for no dudes, you know what I'm saying? It ain't for straight guys, and that's the people, originally who this magazine was marketed at, I don't know. Maybe they've changed their demographic now. apparently, I guess, because ain't straight guys ain't want nothing to do with that. So I don't get it. They're just trying to normalize that kind of stuff. Normalize feminine men and normalize femininity and this beta male stuff. These gender fluid stuff and all this kind of crap. I touch on it from time to time about society trying to downcast and expel masculinity as something that's evil and toxic and it shouldn't be. But I can tell you, when the enemy is at the gate, they're not going to be looking for that beta male or that little dude running around in his little Playboy bunny outfit. They're going to be looking for the big, strong guy that knows how to take care of himself, knows how to handle himself, and knows how to protect others. That's what they're going to be looking for. And there's nothing wrong with that. When I was coming up, we had, men like, like a John Wayne, Clint Eastwood, some might even say a Chuck Norris, kind of manly men. I know that, all these guys, John Wayne, Clint Eastwood being actors, but they still, even in their private lives, they were manly men. They did manly stuff. They weren't just actors that portrayed manly men. They were also in their private lives. They were, very, very masculine. Same thing, Chuck Norris, one of these world, karate champions, could knock your head off, was in, movies with, Bruce Lee and whatnot. And I always thought, at least my, and they were, I always, thought about, them as being, manly men, masculine role models or prototypes or whatever. Of course, my dad being the first and the foremost. But also, to me, like the ultimate alpha male. And, this is a fictional character, but, you couldn't write it, you couldn't create it any better. Was 007, James Bond, 007. Bond, James Bond. License to Kill. He was suave and debonair, international playboy, out there saving the world, a ladies' man. And now even in this latest film, of course, No Time to Die, I think it is the last one here, with Daniel Craig in it. Now they got a female 007. He's like retired or semi-retired, and he comes back to help with whatever caper they got going on. And at the end, spoiler alert, he gets killed off. But, they portray him as being flawed and, maybe a rapist or something, it's really weird. I haven't seen it, but, I've listened to some reviews online, and it doesn't seem like they portray him in a favorable light whatsoever, And I seen even Daniel Craig was saying, yeah, I thought it was a fitting end to the character and blah, blah, blah. And it, tied up a lot of loose ends and whatever. So James Bond is dead now. So what are you going to do now? No more James Bond movies. They might go on with the 007 thing, but now it's a female. Men can't have nothing. They want to destroy everything. You see it in these Marvel movies, where they're emasculating the men, and now all the women characters are all, strong and heroic and brave, and, they're fighting men as if they were men. I'm like, very few women can fight a man like that. Very few. Men are just physically bigger and stronger. That's what testosterone does to you. You know, we have larger bones, we have larger muscle groups. You know, and not that a woman couldn't maybe fend off a man, especially if she was able to grab a hold of some kind of weapon. But I'm just talking about, you know, and I know, again, we're talking about superhero shit, but they always add powers, or their powers are stronger than the men. You know, they're always just trying to emasculate the men. And I'm like, why? You know, why do they have to be better? Why do they have to be greater? And now you got men competing in women's sports and beating up on females, you know, especially in contact sports. I'm like, where are all the feminists at? Where are all these young, brave, strong women at, you know, how come they ain't raising hell that, you know, men are, you know, now jumping in and emasculating them? I don't know. But again, see, they're feminizing these men. You know, these men can't compete, you know, or they're failures as men, so they do that transgender stuff. This beta male stuff. Transgenderism, all of that mess. Instead of letting people just be themselves, you know, be a man, be masculine, nothing wrong with it. Like I said, 007 was, you know, he was a man's man. He was a what you would call a Renaissance man, you know. He knew a lot of things about a lot of things. You know, my dad is like that. You know, he's a man's man. He knows a lot about a lot. He's skilled in, you know, a lot of different crafts. Now, of course, no, he's not as sophisticated, you know, as a James Bond. Of course not. You know, but he doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to be that way. He's sophisticated in his own ways. You know, and he has you know, skills that a James Bond wouldn't have, you know. But that's, you know, and I'm not trying to tell you how to be or what to do or what to think. I think a lot of people might get this show wrong, or maybe even get me wrong. I'm not emasculating emasculating. I don't put down females. I try to steer you in certain directions, you know, so that you know the trappings and the red flags and things that you're going to run up against and things that may catch you off guard. And that's part of being an alpha male, to know ahead of time and not be caught by surprise. Not be caught off guard. So, what I want, or what I would like to see, is you men be the men that you're capable of being. Be all of the man that you are. You know, without restrictions, without being told that that's, you know, wrong, or that you shouldn't think or feel that way, or that you should be in touch with your feminine side. You know, men don't have a feminine side, you know. We don't think like women do, you know. And I'm not saying that, you know, we're cavemen and that we're incapable of understanding women. They're complicated. Most men are, you know, generally a little simpler and, you know, a little easier to figure out. That's why men, talking about my last episode, or can be, not always, but can be easily manipulated. It can happen. Because you'll start thinking the wrong way. And being an alpha male is to know better. Is to know that, hey, that's going to take me down the wrong path. That's going to send me down a slippery slope that might take me, some time to get back up if I go down that path. And being an alpha male isn't all, brawn and brute and, being rough with people or any of that. You can be soft and gentle. A lot of that's about being a man too. That's, where I talked about, being a father. And being able to teach, being a leader, being able to teach, being able to bring others up, lift other people up, help other people. That's part of being an alpha too. It's not about just you getting yours. It's about protecting others, teaching others, showing them the right path. Now, what they do with all that knowledge, well, that's on them. Ain't nothing you can do about that. That's why I said I'm not trying to, tell you what to do. I just get on here and run my mouth and hopefully entertain you a little bit and present you with some knowledge, some experience, and some facts, and let you decide for yourself what's best for you. Because I don't know what that is. Only you do. But maybe I can spring a thought or a train of thought or bring up a subject or an angle or something that you didn't think about before, and you're like, yeah, that makes sense, or no, I reject that. That doesn't work for me. And that's good. That's absolutely good for me. However it works for you. And not everybody can be an alpha. Some people just don't have it in them. They're just they're just they're just going to be, they're just going to be the nerdy nerd guys, and that's fine. They're just not going to be, your typical alpha type dudes, and that's okay. There's room for that too. They everyone has their place. Not everybody. You can't have a room full of alphas. Right? You can only have a few, and you're going to have one that's going to rise as the leader. The other ones are going to be the ones that are help run everything. And then the rest are going to be your followers. You can't have all alphas. Everybody can't be an alpha. But I think each and every one of you know whether you are or not. Whether you lead or whether you follow. Because personally, I don't like to follow. I like to do my own thing, my own way. How I want, when I want. And, maybe that's got, to do with, being pretty much, raised as an only child until my brother was born, way later. I didn't have to share, I had to figure stuff out on my own, do my own thing. So, and, it's all part of your personality too. It's just the way, way you're made up. When you have brothers, sometimes there's some competition there. So, one might rise above the other one. But I didn't have that. So I pretty much had to place to myself. So being an alpha, what do you guys think? There's a lot to it. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot of layers. And I'll keep it short and sweet. I'm not going to beat this horse. If you'd like to support the podcast, you can do so. Use the link that's provided in whatever app you're using to listen to the podcast. Check out the social media website, or social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Gab, and Locals. Of Men for Men or Of Men for Men podcast. Either way you'll find it. I also have a webpage. It's at podpage.com/Of Men for Men. If you go to any of those social media sites, you'll see it. You'll find it. Be safe, gentlemen. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your family. Walk your own path, regardless of who you are or what you are. If nothing else, be an individual and be yourself. Don't let others push you in a corner that you don't belong into or try to be somebody you're not. Be authentic if you're nothing else. All right, my friends. Appreciate your time and your patience. I have been James Rodney Lemax, and you have been great. This will be a weekly podcast. You can find it on the Anchor app and anywhere podcasts are available. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. I look forward to seeing you there.